The battlefield echoed with the clang of steel and the roar of fury. Smoke twisted into the sky like serpents, curling above shattered stone towers and scorched earth. Flags lay torn, bodies strewn like forgotten dolls across the blood-soaked soil. At the center of it all, two warriors danced the deadly rhythm of war. Kael's sword rang as it clashed against the curved glaive of the enemy commander. She moved with a grace no man on the battlefield could match, fast, fluid, lethal. Her armor was dark steel inlaid with violet runes, her face hidden behind a mask shaped like the skull of a jackal. They had been circling each other for minutes, maybe longer. Time had collapsed around them, the rest of the battle fading into noise. She was relentless, never faltering. Kael, however, had a singular focus. Not victory. Not vengeance. Curiosity. Who was she? He parried a slash and lunged forward, managing to clip her shoulder. She hissed, more surprised than hurt, and spun low, her glaive skimming the air just above the ground. Kael jumped back, barely avoiding the sweep. "Who taught you to fight like that?" he growled, breathless. She didn't answer, only tilted her head, then attacked with renewed fury. Her silence infuriated him, but it also intrigued him. Kael had heard of her, the Shadow General, they called her. A ghost on the battlefield. Rumors said she wasn't human. That her armor had never been removed. That she never bled. He intended to prove all of that wrong. They crashed together again, sparks flying as blade met blade. Then Kael fainted, let his sword drop low, and with a brutal punch, knocked the wind from her chest plate. She staggered. Before she could recover, he surged forward, caught the edge of her mask, and ripped it off. For a heartbeat, everything stilled. She was beautiful. Not in the delicate way of princesses in towers, but in the raw, striking way of storms. Her skin was bronzed from sun, her eyes sharp as her weapon. A thin scar traced down her left cheek. And her expression was furious. "You shouldn't have done that," she said coldly. "I needed to see your face." She dropped her glaive. For a moment, Kael thought she had surrendered, until she pulled a dagger from her boot and lunged. He caught her wrist, spun, and drove her backward until she hit the wall of a ruined stone arch. Dust cascaded around them. Her dagger fell from her grip. With one hand, he pinned her wrist above her head. With the other, he reached for the buckle of her chest plate. Their eyes met. "Finish it," she snarled. Kael hesitated. But then, gently, almost reverently, he undid the clasps of her armor. The steel fell away, piece by piece, revealing not weakness, but strength. Scars mapped her like constellations. Bruises painted her ribs from earlier blows. She had bled. She had lived. "You're human," he said softly. Her chest rose and fell. "Always was. Just better at hiding it than most." "Why wear the mask?" "So they'd never know I was afraid." Kael let go of her wrist. She didn't run. Didn't strike. She simply stood, armorless now, breathing hard. The battle still raged beyond the archway, but here, in this small pocket of ruined stone, time held its breath. "You could kill me now," she said, almost curious. "I don't want to." She tilted her head. "Then what do you want?" "To understand." She stepped forward. "Then you'll need to see the rest." Her fingers found the straps of her gauntlets, her boots. She shed the last of the war-born shell until only the woman remained, scarred, strong, silent. Kael watched, not with lust, but with awe. This was no enemy. This was someone forged in fire and kept walking. "What now?" she asked him. "We leave this war behind." Her laugh was short, bitter. "You think it's that easy?" "No," he admitted. "But I'd rather try with you than keep fighting without you." They stood in silence again. Then, finally, she said, My name is Lysari. Kael smiled. I'm Kael. A shiver of wind blew dust across their feet. Somewhere in the distance, a horn sounded, a call for retreat or charge, they didn't know. I can't go back to them, Lysari murmured. I betrayed the king's orders by not killing you. Then don't go back, Kael said. Come with me. To what? We'll find out. She hesitated, then bent to pick up her glaive, snapping the shaft across her knee. A clean break. They walked together, side by side, away from the ruined archway and the sounds of dying men. Toward the hills. Toward an uncertain peace. 3 days later. A campfire crackled under the stars. Kael sat across from Lysari, watching her tend to a cut on his forearm. She'd taken to wearing simple clothes now, stripped of all insignia. Her hair was loose, her weapons fewer. You're surprisingly good at stitching, he said. I've had to sew skin shut more than fabric. He winced as the needle pierced his skin. Remind me not to fight you again. She smirked. That was never a fight. That was you chasing a mystery. Did I solve it? Not yet. She tied the final knot. But you're close. Kael looked at her. I meant what I said. I want to understand you. Lysari didn't look away. Then you have to see the scars I haven't shown yet. He nodded. When you're ready. They sat in silence, the firelight flickering between them. War had forged them. Curiosity had bound them. And now came the unraveling. Of armor. Of history. Of fear. Weeks later. They found a village that had forgotten the war. Green hills, a slow river, and people who didn't care what masks you'd once worn. Kael helped with farming. Lysari took up work teaching the village youths how to defend themselves, with words first, weapons second. No one called her Shadow General anymore. She told stories sometimes, in the quiet of night, of the battles she'd won, the people she'd lost, and the little girl she used to be before someone put a blade in her hand. Kael listened to every word. He never asked her to be anything she wasn't. He never tried to fix her. But he loved her. And one morning, as the sunrise kissed her skin, Lysari whispered, You were right. I'm better without the armor. He kissed her scarred shoulder. You always were.